Are you tired of hearing the same advice all the time? People telling you to go on Upwork or Fiverr to try to get jobs there? Well, you guys have tried it. You keep telling me in the comments how you struggle to get jobs. A lot of you on freelance websites don't even make enough money to quit your part-time job at Burger King or Walmart to live because you don't make enough money with freelance. And after a few weeks of trying to get jobs on these platforms and getting completely ignored, I wouldn't be surprised if many of you start to wonder if you're really good enough to freelance. But I'm here to tell you that you should not worry because you're not really the problem. There's just too much competition on these websites. Like, let me ask you this, how are you supposed to succeed on a website where every time you try to apply to the jobs, there's already 50 other people who have already applied to that job? How can you compete with people who live in countries that you've never even heard of, who want to work for $5 an hour when you need to make $20 an hour to get a decent living in your country? How are you supposed to compete with these people and all the other 50 people who've applied to the jobs you want? Is it your fault that you fail if there's too much competition and at some point you got to realize that, yeah, maybe you failed, but maybe it's not really your fault. Maybe you were doomed to fail. Maybe the game was already rigged from the beginning. And have you ever wondered why Upwork wants you to pay money to be able to apply to jobs? Well, if there are too many people for the amount of jobs available, if there's too much competition, well, how can they monetize the people who are not going to get jobs anyway? How can they make money off of the people who will just sign up to the platform and give up because they can't get jobs? On top of failing to get jobs, you end up having to pay money to fail. And the most successful freelancers, they don't use Upwork, they don't use Fiverr, they don't use these types of websites. Yes, there's successful freelancers on these websites, yes, but the most successful freelancers are mostly not on these platforms. They're finding jobs in other ways. Instead of having to bid on jobs, I prefer to use other methods. I prefer to use methods that people come to me instead of having to go to them. And I realize it sounds like wishful thinking. I understand money doesn't grow on trees and that sort of thing. And it sounds weird to say that, hey, I want to wait for people to come to me. But actually you can set up systems that make it so that people come to you, and it's not just wishful thinking. It's not just law of attraction type of shit. It's not just you hoping that you're going to get clients. It's you actually setting up things over the internet so that people end up coming to you. And the reason I like setting up systems that make it so people come to me instead of me having to go to them is that when they come to me, usually they already have been half sold by my system, so that they already believe that I'm a good person, good freelancer. So the rest of the selling process is really fucking easy. The simplest system that you probably see all the time is just websites that companies build so that people can find them on Google, and these people can become your clients. That's a simple system, and people end up coming to you without you having to call people, without you having to go talk to people individually hoping that they're going to give you a job, without you having to bid. It's just you creating a system that attracts people to you, and this is the sort of thing that I like. Building a website is something that you can do. It's the simplest thing, but at the same time, there's a lot of competition on Google as well, so it's hard to use this without having to pay money in Google advertising so that you get clients to come to you. And at that point, you got to be good enough at advertising and have a good enough website so that you get a return on your investment. I've transitioned to something different. I found a way to advertise my services that it doesn't work with a pricing system that's similar to advertising. Advertising, you have to pay for every person that's going to see your ads. But I found a website that allows me to do advertising, but it works like Netflix in its pricing. Netflix, it doesn't matter how many movies you watch in your month, it's still going to cost the same amount of money if you watch one movie or 1,000 movies in the same month. While, advertising, normal advertising is kind of like having to buy a DVD every time you want to watch a movie, which makes it hard to get a good return on investment because, if you're the type of person who uses it a lot and you need to use it a lot to get your job, it means that it's going to cost you a lot of money. But if you can find an advertising system that allows you to use Netflix style pricing, you can really scale it up and end up making a lot of money and profits without having to pay more money, which is what I found most effective in my methods so far. So what I do is I use a website that is called SmartReach. It's a website that allows me to send emails automatically. And the cool thing about it is that it allows me to not only send like one email to people, it allows me to send a series of emails to people, all crafted to be really good marketing messages. So it works kind of like reaching customers on social media. You know, they see your post a couple of times, but it's just through their email inbox instead. And what I do is I figure out which companies in my area are companies that will need services soon. So what you need to realize as a freelancer is that there's different types of companies that have different cycles in the year about what times of the year they're busy and what times of the year they're a little less busy. So more thinking about how they can grow their business. Every month you need to know which types of companies that you should be targeting at the moment. So what I do is I set up these marketing campaigns and make sure that my emails end up reaching all the right types of businesses at the right months of the year. And so you can build these different marketing campaigns tailored to every type of business in your local area that you want to target. It's really, really awesome as a system, and it brings a lot of people to you. After that, doing the work of just selling them is much easier because they're already kind of semi-interested in what I have to offer based on what I've said in the emails. If you use my strategy, you're going to find that you're going to be in a much less competitive space. There's other people doing email marketing, but with automation and the scale that I'm doing it, I've not seen many people being able to do things that are that advanced. And setting up these email marketing campaigns on SmartReach is really easy. I can show you how to do it. So if you'd like to learn this, you can click the link in the description or right up here to see my playlist of 3 videos where I explain my process of finding freelance jobs using this email marketing system. Really easy to set up. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Never give up on your dreams, and I'll see you in my next videos.